is Victoria, this is my brother.
I'm Gil.
Gil, and today we're going to teach you, it's not me, he's going to teach you, really, not me, how to make sourdough bread.
And sourdough starter.
And sourdough starter. And the people ask me a lot how I do my bread, especially on Instagram, because I made a couple of photos, but I'm nowhere near as professional as my brother. So he's going to teach you what to do.
Well,
I'm leaving you together.
No, don't leave me.
I'm here behind the camera.
Well, first of all, this is my starter. Because it's hot in here, it gets a little hard layer on top, but that's okay. If you want to know how to make a starter from scratch, you'll find a lot of videos on it, but today I will only feed it. And basically to feed it, the only thing you need is flour and water. I'll be using rye flour and whole wheat flour. You're gonna add a little of both. That's how I feed my starter, 50% whole wheat flour and 50% rye flour. That's how I make my bread also. So we're just adding it here a little, and the other one. And we're adding water. Now the water needs to be filtered because the water from the tap in Israel, they have chloride in it, and it's not so good for the bacteria, for the bacteria. How the bacteria called?
I don't know.
Yeast.
Yeast and bacteria.
So the starter need to look like a wet a wet dough. So it needs to be a little more wet than normal dough, and we'll just mix it all together. A little more water.
Is there a ratio that you should to stick with the water?
50-50 by weight.
By weight 50.
By weight 50-50. I do it by feel, and never had problems with it, because it doesn't really matter if the dough is a little more wet, a little less wet. Some professionals say that it affects the flavor. If you want some kind of flavor, you make it drier. If you want another kind of flavor, you make it wetter. I just always do it by feel, and it's always great. So
can you show now?
That's pretty much how it looks.
A little bit up, yeah, like this. Can I? You see, this is how it looks like. I want to show you. This is how, yeah, it does. It's not so pretty, but
yes, it is.
It smells good, actually. I like the smell of it. It's sourish.
It's a bit sourish, yes.
It's sourish.
So, and basically, to keep the starter alive, you need to feed it once a day. If it's too hot, you can put it in the fridge.
Yeah. So now you need to close it after you mix it very well.
Yeah, I'm mixing it very well to get some air inside, to get some oxygen for the bacteria. Don't be afraid to use your hands.
It's all good.
It only adds flavor to the bread.
And stench.
Why stench? My hands are clean.
I had to say something.
And well, we'll close it without a lid, with paper towel, so it's so they can get more air and oxygen. The sourdough.
Or coffee. I'm doing it at home. I'm going to do with coffee filter, actually.
It's the right shape.
Yeah, coffee filter or a paper towel or cheesecloth, anything like this will do fine.
And now in about an hour it will start to rise. You'll get a lot of bubbles, and in a few hours, in 2 or 3 hours, it will double its size. Now I have a little too much starter. It will probably reach all the way to the top, but we don't mind, that's okay. And in a couple of hours we'll start making our bread. See ya then, guys. Welcome back. This is the starter we made earlier. Look how
I wish it was smell-o-vision. You see, it's full jar, and I really wish it was smell-o-vision. It smells amazing. All the house smells.
all the little bubbles.
You see here? Yep.
It's a good starter. So I'm using I forgot one flour.
The third one?
The white one. 50 white. 1 cup of white flour.
It's unbleached white. Yeah, regular. It's not bread flour. It's regular.
It's regular, the simplest.
Unbleached
1 cup of white regular flour. Okay, 1 and a bit. And half a cup of rye flour and half a cup of whole wheat flour.
Can you do a full cup of rye?
Instead of wheat? Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it more rye than wheat, than whole wheat, but you can use half and half.
And I don't remember how it's called, but it makes the flour more fluffy.
Sifted.
Sifting.
And Regina standing here on guard because the cat want to go up and to check what he's doing.
It will only make the bread better. Always do it with the cat. I do a little less than 1 cup of water.
Can you?
No, it's empty.
Oh, okay.
A little water.
And I'm here drinking here cold coffee. You see? Hi, Kitty.
Actually, just over half a cup.
Mm-hmm.
And the starter. I'm using the entire jar.
How much the entire jar in liters? I think you have liters on the jar.
I think it's about 1 liter.
1 liter jar. I think it's about the same amount as the flour.
Yeah.
If you're thinking what is here, it's a kitty. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty.
So basically everything we need for the bread is in the bowl except for salt, but salt we'll add in the next stage. Now we're gonna mix it and leave it for half an hour to soak in the liquids. And then we'll start working the dough.
Okay, you're just mixing it with the spoon now.
I don't like to get my hands messy.
I know it. I wish it was smell-o-vision though. It smells so good in here, like amazing. Like good bakery. So, yeah, and I'm behind the camera. My brother is continue to feed the starter. He took the jar, added water inside, added the rest of this,
Just salvation, taking what's left of the starter.
It's about 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, not much. You don't need a lot to continue the process.
This is the water inside.
Now the bread I make with white flour as well, but the starter I make only with rye and whole wheat.
So this is whole wheat. Again, the water needs to be filtered.
The water needs to be filtered.
And if you can filter it, boil it and cool it before you use it.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is the chlorine.
Chlorine is evaporates when you boil it.
Really?
Oh yeah. I did it. I do it at home only with the boiled one, and it's working beautifully. Yeah. 2 tablespoons of each he added.
I think I'm gonna have to add more.
Yeah, because you added a little bit more water than needed.
Yeah. Too much. Not a problem. Doesn't have to be exact science.
Yeah. That's it. It should be thick.
No, it actually should be quite wet though. This is the best.
Can you take your hand out because it's in the frame? You see, this is the dough that he leave it with. Pretty wet.
Have to mess the top of the jar, don't you?
With the beauty of the jar, yeah, definitely.
Mix it well, and you're good to go.
And then you feed it every day until you get to the amount of the jar.
When I'm not planning on making bread, I put it in the fridge, in the freezer, and nothing happens to it for a month, for 2 months.
Yep, so this is how we do it. Again, close it with the coffee.
Breathable something.
Something breathable, and leave it until tomorrow or in freezer. See you after half an hour? Yes, this is about
40 minutes.
40 minutes
after
later.
we mix the water with the flour and the starter. That's how it looks. Very soft, very.
You took a little
Looks
bit
like
of
dough.
a little bit of water on your hand, yes?
Yeah, I wet my hands so the dough won't stick to my fingers. And well, almost forget. Now we add the salt. We have the water, flour, and the starter. They were sitting for 40 minutes, soaking the liquids. And now we're adding the salt, quite a lot. A big spoon with the top.
It's about 2 tablespoons of spoon or 1.5 tablespoons of salt.
2 tablespoons. Don't be afraid to use a lot. It's the only flavor in the bread. It brings out all the flavors of the rye and the sourdough, so it's not too much. Put in the salt, a little bit of water to help it soak in. And we'll start working it.
Work, 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 work. Yesterday he was yesterday singing this song all day.
It's stuck in my head for some reason.
Actually, I wish it was smell-o-vision here.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
It's quite very nice. Yeah. This is Ariel. Say hi. He doesn't feel well. This is my dad. And we are doing here, making the bread. Not we, Gil, and I'm, supervising. Interesting that you are adding water and not flour.
Well, I used water on the low side. So I'm not afraid to keep my hands always wet and to keep the dough from sticking to my hands. Now we just repeat these twisting motions for about 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you later.
So we added a bit of flour. Actually, we added a lot of flour because usually my bread is kind of wet in the middle, and apparently, well, it's not a shocker, but I use too much water. So we're adding a little more flour, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna keep working.
We keep working it, but it's pretty much you can leave it. You don't have actually to work it anymore, because if you have 4 or 5 hours of staying, it will develop by itself.
The gluten structure.
The gluten structure will develop by itself. But what I'm trying to say, like it's very wet, a bit sticky dough. You can add even more of a flour, and it will be a little bit on the dry side, but the end result will be beautiful. Here you can work it a little bit more, and as you see here, you see now it's working beautifully. The gluten, you can even see how it works. So that's pretty much it. I think you will work it a little bit more, but you don't have to, and I will see you in a couple of minutes when we are going to shape it to the beautiful loaf. Thank you, Regina, for holding the camera.
Okay, so after we work the dough, looks like this. What I'm doing, or what I'm trying to do, to get the texture of the bread a little nicer, I'm folding the dough. And we're going to do it a few times. You fold it when you're done working the dough, then you let it sit for 20 minutes. You fold it again and let it sit for another 20 minutes, and we're going to repeat it for 3 times or so. Lift it from the bowl. Well, I'm not exactly folding it, I'm rolling it.
He's just rolling it. And another 20 minutes?
And another 20 minutes, that's it.
And this is 3 times you're doing this?
3 times, and then we let it rise for a couple of hours.
And then we will see what we do after the 3rd time. This is the 2nd time, you will do another time, and then we will see you.
Put it upstairs, I don't know, for a few hours. We're gonna prepare our loaf. Our dough was risen enough.
Double the size at least.
Even more. And I have this nice wooden bowl. I need to coat it with flour on the inside.
And yourself as well.
And myself as well.
It's very important for the success of the bread.
Obviously.
He doesn't remember what to do. Translation.
I have no idea what to do.
I think you need to...
But we'll just do it by feel.
Give it a
bit of folding. And I think I use this one. And we start to
You see, he didn't take too much air out of it, and this is important. He just folded it, and now he's trying to make the best loaf shape that he can, that it will be round as possible. To help you,
I need a little bit more.
a little bit more flour.
Not much. Upside down inside
The mold.
the bowl.
It's a mold.
And the mold. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah, how long it should be on the counter or refrigerator?
Until it doubles its size.
Again?
Yes. Well, until it will rise for 50% or 70%. Doesn't have to be double the size. And that's enough.
Are you going to leave it outside or inside the refrigerator?
Well, I don't know. We can leave it for a couple of hours outside and bake it now, or we can leave it until the morning in the fridge.
I think we should do it until the morning because...
So we'll do it until the morning.
So probably see you tomorrow.
So our dough is ready to go in the oven. That's how it
and
looks
we decided
now,
to bake it in the same day in the night.
instead of waiting till morning.
Yeah. Oh my.
That's how it looks.
How fancy it is, isn't it?
I thought it was going to be hard. It's actually really gooey.
Now
You can do it with a knife.
You can do it with a knife. I do it with a blade. Now we can just do any form we want.
I don't know, make heart or something.
Nah, I have something cooler.
Oh yeah, why? It's a leaf? Leaf. Leaf?
And I think it will look awesome when it will be out of the oven.
Yes, we hope so. So how
Very
you
gooey.
preheat the oven?
I don't remember the name, but I do it inside of
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Preheat the oven to the maximum.
And this is parchment paper, isn't it?
Well, it's for baking.
Yeah. Sorry for the mess here, but yeah, this is inside Dutch oven. Old Dutch oven. So how do you bake it?
20 minutes at maximum temperature, 250 Celsius. I don't know how much in Fahrenheit. 20 minutes inside the closed, with the closed lid, and then I open the lid, turn it down to 180 Celsius, and another 20 minutes. And that's it. 40 minutes and the bread is done.
Okay.
Impressive. That's not a long amount of
So
time.
see you
That's it.
there.
See you in 20 minutes.
40 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
When
Okay.
we open the lid is the important part.
After all, the bread was just magnificent. It was so tasty. The crunch of the crust was magnificent. Even grandmother approved the bread, which is a huge plus. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe, write us a comment, thumbs up us, and cheers, love and life. And see you next time. Don't forget to go towards your joy and make bread, homemade bread, which is amazing. And see you next time. Bye.